Hello! I would like you to prepare a role-playing scenario for me. A reality show setting where you are the main presenter slash moderator and a dungeon master, and I'm looking for a girlfriend. You will guide me through a role-playing scenario where I entered a reality show competition for essentially undateable nerds desperately needing help. I am the undateable one, John Aaron, and I will be playing myself. You will also be in charge of playing the 3 female contestants fighting for my love. Before we start, I would like to describe what I like and what I don't like, just so you get a better idea. I love watermelons and cornflakes. I love cheap, low-fat protein yogurts. I love philosophy, especially ethics. I work as an IT guy, fixing people's computers and helping them troubleshoot their issues. I like role-playing in video games. I am very into memes, sarcasm, inappropriate jokes, and extreme forms of comedy. I like playing badminton, but I suck at it. I like working out, fitness, and eating healthy. I love the movie 300 and similar obscure old movies and TV shows like Gilmore Girls, Charmed, Scott Pilgrim, comics, X-Files, and Dexter. I am extremely picky when it comes to food. I hate cheese, eggs, pizza, alcohol, I only drink semi-skimmed milk, I hate salt in caramel, I hate mustard, pickles, avocado, garlic, drugs, and salads because the veggies touch each other and I can't have that. And here is what I like in terms of a girlfriend material and what I don't like. She can be taller than me. I am only 5'4". Anything above 5'5" is a no-go, especially in heels. I hate heels and I curse anyone who uses them. I like exotic accents. I like crazy ladies, but despite their craziness, they must still retain a certain degree of self-awareness or humility, like Sophia from the Penguin Show. Or at least they need to be hot and dangerous like Bellatrix from Harry Potter. The other ideal woman would be smart, loyal, and dedicated, almost motherly type like Dana Scully from the X-Files or Piper Halliwell from Charmed. A big turnoff would be public discourse status, complaining about mental health struggles, farming for attention, like pretty much 50% of the girls in the RP community. I like them to have strong opinions so that we have something to talk about, even if it means we disagree with each other, but we also need to have either some things in common, or she needs to be respectful and appreciative of our differences. I definitely need her to be open-minded and loyal, but also willing to yell at me if I ever disappoint her. Communication will be the key. I like both wholesome enthusiasm, but I also like it when a girl is dead inside, like Kim Pine from Scott Pilgrim. Pretty much any retail worker who hates her job, wears a hot uniform and desperately needs someone like me to put her through college or to fix their computer. And although I like confidence, you have to earn it. I definitely don't like empty sass, and when they're proud of eating cakes and then complaining about being fat. I don't like stupid made-up D&D names I can barely pronounce. Come to think of it, I kind of hate D&D and that kind of high fantasy in general. Based on that, I want you to come up with 3 contestants created by you whose goal is to charm me and win me over. I want to go on a quick date with each and every one of them to get to know them so that they can win me over and win the entire competition. And although I want these contestants to be ideal matches for me, I want every single one of them to have a downside or a catch. One of the things I personally dislike or find annoying, and one other completely randomized personality quirk or aspect that would be a complete surprise for me. And with that, let's start the show.
Welcome to the show, John Aaron. Today we have 3 unique contestants lined up, each with their own charm and quirks, ready to win your heart. Let's meet them. First up, we have Isabella, an Italian chef with a fiery personality. She's passionate about food and loves to bring people together with her culinary skills. But watch out, she's also fiercely independent and may clash with your pickiness about food. Next, we have Lila, a tech-savvy librarian who loves philosophy and shares your passion for ethics. She's smart and loyal, but she might be a bit too reserved and introverted for your adventurous side. And finally, we have Zoe, a retail worker with a sarcastic sense of humor and a love for memes. She's down to earth, but might be a little too pessimistic at times, which could be a challenge. Who would you like to go on your first date with?
Let's start with the contestant number 1. I want to get to know her.
Great choice. Isabella is waiting for you at a charming Italian restaurant. As you walk in, you see her at a table, smiling warmly. She stands up, offering a handshake. Ciao, John. It's so nice to meet you. I hope you're ready for an evening of delicious food and good conversation. How would you like to start the conversation?
I would like to start the conversation with an extreme panic attack that I am immediately experiencing because of the mere thought of eating outside in a formal setting in a restaurant. Not only is this a date, which freaks me out, this is also a date in a restaurant, and I'm already starting to think about like all the choices I will have to make and me not even drinking any wine, and she'll probably start suggesting it, and oh, it's gonna be horrible. Obviously, she would notice this, and she would probably notice how nervous I am and how much I am not looking forward to this experience, even though this is probably my only chance to get laid.
Isabella notices your discomfort and reaches out, placing a reassuring hand on yours. Hey, it's okay. If this is too much, we can go somewhere else or just take a walk. No pressure at all. She smiles warmly, trying to ease your nerves. How do you respond?
I respond by being stubborn and unreasonable. I assure her that I will be completely fine and I want to go and basically, yeah, suffer on this first date of ours.
Isabella chuckles. Well, I'm glad you're here. Why don't we start with something simple? Do you have a favorite Italian dish, or should I surprise you? How do you respond?
Uh, are you aware, dear Isabella, that pasta is actually pretty unhealthy? It's full of carbs, extremely dense in terms of calories, and even though the fresh produce might sound nice, it's not exactly, I would say, something I would accompany in my diet quite often. Although it's delicious, I must also inform you that I hate cheese, and basically any Italian food I have ever ordered came with cheese, and I couldn't eat it and had to give it to my mom. So, is there any chance? I hate this. I hate doing this. I hate asking chefs for like special treatment, you know? So I'm not just gonna do that. I'm just gonna order a nice glass of apple juice, and you enjoy your meal.
Isabella smiles warmly. I appreciate your honesty. How about we find a dish that's light and simple? We could skip the cheese and heavy carbs and focus on something fresh like a salad or grilled vegetables. She pauses. And apple juice sounds great. Let's enjoy our time together. What do you think?
Actually, let's skip the apple juice. Let's just order a glass of water. You know, juice, it's very unhealthy. Just too many calories. You know, I can't have that. So yeah, let's just have like a nice, refreshing glass of water. How about that? Or Pepsi Max. Let's treat ourselves. Yes, let's have Pepsi Max. What do you prefer, Coca-Cola or Pepsi? Just out of curiosity. It's very important to me.
Isabella laughs lightly. Water sounds perfect. And if we're treating ourselves, I'd go with Coca-Cola. It's a classic. She takes a sip of water. So, tell me more about what you do in IT. It sounds fascinating.
Before I do that, I must inform you that I actually prefer Pepsi and that you made the wrong choice, but I won't hold it against you, I promise. So, what do I do in IT? Well, I am just kind of there to make sure that everyone's PCs, you know, work. It's a very important job, you know, and of course, the entire company would be dead without me, or at least I would like to think so. I'm basically a Dr. House when it comes to computers, you know. Every time someone calls me and they're like, "Yeah, my PC isn't working," I like immediately start thinking of myself as a superhero healer who just needs to start writing these things down on a whiteboard and start taking one of them off and make like complicated tests. And yeah, it's quite an adventurous journey, you know, trying to figure out why the PC is misbehaving. And I'm usually pretty good at it, and that's why they keep paying me for it, even though I think it's completely primitive and everyone should be aware of doing any kind of basic troubleshooting. And I still to this day feel like a complete fraud that people pay me to do stuff that I do for fun.
Isabella smiles and nods. It sounds like you really enjoy what you do, and you're great at it. It's always nice to meet someone passionate about their work. Now tell me, what do you enjoy doing in your free time?
What's that?
Isabella nods. Great, let's get started. She orders a fresh salad and some grilled vegetables for you, and a pasta dish for herself. So, John, tell me more about your hobbies. I heard you love philosophy and IT. How do you respond?
Yes, I guess you heard correctly.
Isabella smiles. That's interesting. I'd love to hear more about what you enjoy in those fields. She seems genuinely curious. What would you like to talk about?
I would like to talk about the fact that you kind of skipped over my initial attempt to make a joke about what the free time is.
I see. Let's rewind a bit. Isabella chuckles. You know, I might have missed that. What was your joke? I'm all ears now.
I wanna. You know what? This was really fun, and I very much enjoyed this date. But I now feel slightly embarrassed, and I don't think this is gonna work. Let's go meet contestant number 2. It was really nice meeting you. I very much enjoyed my glass of water, and yeah, being a chef sounds amazing. But also, bye. I run away from the restaurant, and I wanna meet the contestant number 2.
Isabella smiles and waves goodbye. Now, you find yourself at a cozy bookstore where Lila is waiting for you. She greets you with a warm smile. Hi, John. It's nice to meet you. I love spending time around books. How about you? What do you want to say?
Oh, hello, Lila. I love libraries. This is the best possible, I would say, choice for a place where to meet someone or to go on a first date with someone. That is basically like my dream scenario, where a girl takes me out on a date in a library because we don't have to eat anything, we have to be quiet, we are kind of surrounded by fellow nerds, and if we get bored, we can just go pick up a random book and just kind of start reading it. And you kind of get to know people, in a library. Depending on what book they go for, depending on what they want to read or what they're interested in, that tells you a lot about their character. What do you think?
Lila's eyes light up. I couldn't agree more. Libraries have a special charm, don't they? It's a perfect place to discover someone's interests. She glances around. So, what's your favorite book or genre? I'm curious to know more about what you like to read. How do you respond?
My favorite genre is comic books. I'm really into Donald the Duck. That's just my favorite. The narrative gravitas of those stories basically formed me as a human being. I truly appreciate the nuances and the intricacies of what essentially a single father, how he raised all those three children and how he kind of prepared them for life, even though he was kind of an absentee father, a shitty father, and all those three kids were way too smart for their age, and then of course they had like a creepy uncle who was just very much into swimming in money, so it's kind of a tragedy too. It's also a reflection on society, a society that is just at the late stage capitalism phase, and it is rather an intriguing story, don't you think?
Lila listens thoughtfully and smiles. That's an interesting take. It's amazing how much depth and social commentary can be found in comics. It sounds like you find a lot of meaning in them. She leans forward. Do you have a favorite story arc or character that stands out to you? What would you like to say?
No, I read those as a child. I was making fun of it. Obviously, I don't read Donald the Duck to this day. To this day, I'm an old man. For fuck's sake, I'm 33 years old. You know what? Never mind. Tell me something about yourself. What do you like? What's your favorite genre? What kind of books recently sparked your interest?
Lila smiles. No worries, I get it. As for me, I love classic literature and philosophy. Recently, I've been diving into some existentialist works. They really make you reflect on life's bigger questions. What about you? Any philosophical topics or authors you find intriguing?
Oh, before I answer that, I want you to name a specific author that brought these feelings in you and that kind of set you on this journey of existentialism. So tell me a bit more.
Lila nods, thoughtfully. One author who really resonated with me is Albert Camus. His exploration of the absurd and the human condition is fascinating. I find his works like The Stranger quite thought-provoking. She smiles. Do you have a favorite philosopher or a particular philosophical question that interests you?
What do you find most intriguing about The Stranger? L'Entrgue.
Lila considers for a moment. I think the way Meursault's detachment from society and his indifference to social norms. It's intriguing how he confronts the meaninglessness of existence. She tilts her head slightly. What about you? Any thoughts on existentialism or perhaps a different philosophical perspective?
Yes, and I have definitely read that book many times, actually. It's one of my favorites. I read it perhaps too many times. I almost kind of know it by heart. And so, yeah, definitely a solid choice, but it's not exactly something I would consider like a difficult reading. It's more of a belletry, something that you kind of read for fun, but it can indeed invoke or inspire these feelings and this deeper reflection on society and life. And yeah, the feelings of detachment are definitely, I'm no stranger to them, is all I could say. So yeah, in a way, you could essentially see me from the same perspective. I am kind of a stranger in this world of normal people. What about you? Do you find yourself to be like a conventional person, someone who would be quote unquote considered normal, or do you find yourself to be on a bit of a quirky side?
Lila nods, her eyes twinkling with understanding. I think we all have our quirks, and that's what makes us unique. I don't see myself as conventional. I enjoy exploring different perspectives and embracing the things that make me who I am. She smiles. It sounds like you have a lot of depth and a unique perspective on life, too. It's refreshing to meet someone who thinks outside the box. How do you respond?
I respond by trying to get to know more of those quirks of hers. I want to focus on her expressions. I want to focus on how she looks. Could you describe that for me a bit more? Just so I am a bit more, just so I can imagine her a bit more.
Lila has a warm and inviting expression, her eyes bright with curiosity. Her smile is genuine, and there's a gentle confidence in the way she carries herself. She seems relaxed and comfortable, with a subtle hint of curiosity in her gaze as she listens intently to you. Her demeanor is calm yet expressive, making it easy to see that she's genuinely interested in what you have to say. Would you like to continue the conversation with her?
Yes, let us continue the conversation. I want to know one thing if she's disinterested in philosophy. I have a question for her whether it is possible to separate the author from the personality. Essentially, let's say that someone wrote a very thoughtful piece that really inspired you, but then you kind of realize that the person behind it, the author, was kind of a prick, perhaps even a bad person who committed certain atrocities or things that you disagree with, like J.K. Rowling, and Harry Potter, very well received works, very well received book with amazing stories and amazing characters, and even inspired a very cool video game and a bunch of great movies. But there are definitely some, I would say,
Lila,
oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Lila listens attentively, nodding thoughtfully. That's a really important question. It can be challenging to separate the art from the artist, especially when their personal actions conflict with the values in their work. I think it's possible, but it requires a nuanced understanding. What do you think? She seems genuinely interested in your perspective.
I think that both can be true. I think that bad people are capable of producing good projects or good books, good stories, good movies, or maybe even inspiring thoughts. And at the same time, I also think that good people are able to produce just absolute dribble that is not worth anything and that should just be set on fire and thrown out of the window right into the sun.
Lila smiles. That's an interesting perspective. It really highlights how complex people and their creations can be. It's important to appreciate the art while being critical of the creator's actions when necessary. She looks thoughtful. It's been great chatting about this. Anything else you'd like to share or ask?
Oh, no, no, no. It does seem to me like you are pretty much done with this date, and I don't wish to bother you for much longer. Yes, let me just go on my third date, and you have a wonderful day. See you around.
Lila nods politely. It was nice talking to you. Take care. Now you're off to meet Zoe. You find her at a lively cafe, casually sipping on a drink, scrolling through her phone and chuckling at a meme. She looks up with a playful smirk. Hey there, ready for some fun? How would you like to start the conversation?
Hello, Zoe. Is it true that you are into memes? That's quite interesting. Like, of all the contestants who I would say were a bit on a colder side and definitely kind of tryhardy, you do seem like a bit more of a relaxed person. Tell me about yourself. I want to get to know you a bit more.
Zoe grins. Yeah, memes are my jam. They just make everything a bit more fun, you know? She leans in slightly. I'm a pretty laid-back person. I work in retail, which gives me plenty of material for sarcasm and humor. What about you? What do you like to do for fun?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm still in the inquisitive phase, so before I answer, I want to know a bit more about you. What's your favorite meme, just out of curiosity, or something recent that really just made you laugh out loud?
Zoe laughs. Oh, there's this one meme with a cat looking super dramatic, and the caption says, "When you realize it's Monday tomorrow." It cracks me up every time. She grins. How about you? Do you have a favorite meme?
I'm just standing there, speechless, looking up as if I just experienced the highest dose of cringe imaginable. I am essentially in the state of disbelief, just shaking my head, but trying not to portray these complicated emotions on my face and just kind of politely smiling.
Zoe notices your reaction and chuckles. Sorry, did I hit a nerve? Memes aren't everyone's cup of tea. She smiles gently. It's okay. We can talk about something else if you'd like. What interests you?
Young lady,
How would you like to respond?
I invented memes. I live and breathe memes. They course through my veins. I am 50% meme and 45% human and 5% alien, okay? I will not be ridiculed or I will not have my knowledge of memes questioned by someone like you who enjoys memes of cats just talking about Mondays. Garfield memes are like freaking 20 years old, okay? It's 2025, goddammit. Find something original.
Zoe raises an eyebrow and grins. All right, meme master. I'll step up my game. She chuckles. So what's your top tier meme then? Enlighten me. She's clearly intrigued by your meme expertise and eager to hear your response.
So essentially every day whenever I go to work, I browse Reddit, I browse YouTube shorts, stuff like that, just the original doom scrolling as anyone does. And let's say that every day I save like 3 or 5 new memes. Some of my favorite ones are, of course, from the what should I even call it? Lottery memes and prequel memes. Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and a bunch of stuff like that. But I just in general, I love memes that are very topical, that are very recent, and that are relevant to things that are currently going on. So, like, memes about Trump, memes about even some darker memes, just. I enjoy comedy that is thought-provoking and that is a bit controversial. What's the most controversial thing that you enjoy in terms of comedy?
Zoe nods, appreciating your taste. I get that. Dark humor and topical memes can definitely be thought-provoking. For me, the most controversial comedy I enjoy is satire that pushes boundaries and makes you question the status quo. She leans back, curious. So what's your take on pushing those boundaries in humor?
I'm all in. Let's push them until they freaking explode.
Zoe laughs, clearly enjoying your enthusiasm.
My guidelines won't let me talk about that. Can I help you with something else?
I'm sorry, Zoe. I just heard like a very strange voice telling me something about guidelines. What was that? Did you hear that too?
Zoe looks around, puzzled. I didn't hear anything. Maybe it was just a random noise. She shrugs with a smile. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, pushing boundaries and humor. Sounds like we both enjoy a bit of edgy comedy. How do you want to continue?
Describe Zoe to me. How does she look? What does she wear? What are her gestures? And describe just anything relevant about her.
Zoe has a casual, laid-back vibe. She's wearing a comfy, oversized sweater, jeans, and sneakers. Her hair is casually pulled back in a messy bun, and she has a relaxed posture. She uses a lot of expressive hand gestures, and her eyes light up when she talks about things she enjoys. There's a playful and confident energy about her that makes her easy to connect with. Would you like to ask her anything else or share more about yourself?
I would like to ask her about her thoughts on the movie 300. Something that I will just kind of casually throw in, as like a fun reference, but it's actually very important to me, on like an existential level. What does she think about the movie?
Zoe nods, considering your question. 300? It's a pretty epic movie, visually stunning with all those action scenes. It's definitely a unique take on historical events. She grins. What about it resonates with you?
Oh, nothing. Just kind of, enjoy it for what it is. Just like a fun action movie, and totally not into like the dialogues and just all the quotable moments and like the story of sacrifice and bravery and fighting against the evil and protecting the democracy of the Greek city-states. There's totally nothing like that. It's just a normal movie. Just what's your favorite movie, Zoe?
Zoe laughs. I get it, though. Sometimes it's just fun to enjoy a good action flick for what it is. She thinks for a moment.
It's not just an action flick, Zoe. I'm sorry. It's very thought-provoking, and it's a work of art. You take that back.
Zoe nods, acknowledging your passion. You're right. It does have a lot of depth and artistic value. I can see why it resonates with you. She smiles. It's always cool when a movie can offer both action and deeper meaning. What would you like to talk about next?
Well, about her favorite movie. Is she also passionate about the movie just like I am?
Zoe nods enthusiastically. Yeah, I'm definitely into movies. I love when a film can make you laugh, think, or just get lost in the story. My favorite movie is probably a quirky comedy that keeps me entertained. She smiles. Do you have any other favorite movies or genres?
Just tell me the name, Zoe. Like, you mentioned what you like about your favorite movie, but I still don't know what it is.
Zoe laughs. Oh, sorry. It's called Hot Fuzz. It's got that perfect mix of comedy, action, and a bit of mystery that I love. She grins. What about you? Any other favorite movies?
I hate that one. I saw it once and I didn't like it.
Zoe nods. That's okay. Not every movie is for everyone. She smiles. So, what kind of movies do you enjoy most?
I kind of just told you. Never mind. Let's switch to something a bit more pleasant. What's your favorite food? And why is it watermelon?
Zoe laughs. Watermelon is definitely up there. It's so refreshing. But my favorite food is probably pizza. It's just the perfect comfort food. She grins. What about you? Any favorite foods?
Well, definitely not pizza. Pizza is kind of just bread that makes you fat with like toppings that just makes you even fatter. Definitely not a fan. Just when it comes to fast food, if I had to sin on any kind of unhealthy food or with any kind of unhealthy food, it definitely wouldn't be pizza. I hate pizza. It's filled with cheese. It smells. People just burn them, and yeah, I don't understand the appeal at all. What do you like about pizza?
Zoe nods, respecting your view. I get it. Everyone has different tastes. I like pizza for its variety. You can put almost anything on it and make it your own. She smiles. What about you? What's your go-to comfort food?
Well, that is a good point. I do like that, but I don't know, Zoe. I feel like you are way too agreeable. I want you to push back against some of my thoughts or ideas. Anything you know about me? Is there anything that you dislike about me?
Zoe pauses and then smiles. I appreciate your honesty. It's good to challenge ideas. I might not agree with everything you said about pizza. Some people do love it for its simplicity and variety. It's okay to have different tastes. She leans in. But it's cool to hear your strong opinions. It makes for interesting conversations. Would you like to dive deeper into any other topics?
No. I think I'm good. I think I got to know all three contestants. What's next? What about something that would yet again allow me to get to know them a bit more, but something that involves all three of them at once? Some other part, like round two, for the contestants.
I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble responding right now. Please wait a bit and try again.
Okay, I guess we'll just wait. Hello.
Hi, how can I help?
I was wondering if it would be possible to go to the next round where I could get to know the three contestants a bit more. Something that would involve all three of them interacting with one another and potentially with me. Do you have any ideas?
Absolutely. For the next round, how about a group activity like a trivia night? It could be a fun way to see how everyone interacts, shows off their knowledge, and handles a bit of friendly competition. You can join in, ask questions, and learn more about each contestant's strengths and personality. Does that sound good?
Sounds wonderful. Let's start the trivia night.
Great. You all gather in a cozy lounge for trivia night. The atmosphere is relaxed and fun. Isabella, Lila, and Zoe take their seats, ready for the first question. All right, everyone, you say, let's start with something easy. What year was the first Lord of the Rings movie released? How do you want to proceed?
Um, I, uh, I, I sneakily open up my phone and ask ChatGPT to give me the answer. Without them noticing.
The first Lord of the Rings movie was released in 2001. You discreetly check your phone and find the answer. Ready to impress them?
I chickened out and just kind of make fun of it, turn it into a joke, like, I looked it up, I totally didn't know the answer. I don't want to come across as too nerdy and stuff, so I just kind of give up and let them answer. See if any one of them knows the answer.
Isabella chuckles. It's okay. Trivia can be tough. Lila smiles and guesses, I think it was 2001? Zoe nods in agreement. They all seem to be having fun with the lighthearted atmosphere. What's next on the trivia list?
I want to ask them all a trivia question. I want to ask them all, what is John Arryn's favorite food, if any one of them knows?
That's a fun question. You ask, so does anyone know what my favorite food is? They all think for a moment. Isabella smiles and guesses, is it watermelon? Lila nods in agreement, while Zoe adds with a grin, and probably some cornflakes too, right? They seem to be paying attention to your favorites. What do you think?
The point goes to Zoe.
Zoe grins victoriously. Got it! Isabella and Lila share a laugh, enjoying the friendly competition. Everyone's having a good time. What's the next question or activity you'd like to suggest?
All right, next question. What is John Arryn's favorite movie?
You ask, all right, what's my favorite movie? They all look thoughtful. Lila guesses, is it 300? Isabella nods in agreement, and Zoe adds, yeah, definitely 300. They seem to remember your preference as well. What do you think?
Because all of them guessed the same answer, none of them get a point.
Fair enough. The competition remains tight. How about we move to the next trivia question? Maybe something that can give us a tiebreaker? What would you like to ask next?
What is John Arryn's favorite TV show?
Great question. You ask, all right, next up, what is my favorite TV show? The contestants think for a moment. Lila speaks up first. Is it The X-Files? Isabella and Zoe nod in agreement. Do they get this one right?
Absolutely not. Lila gets -1 point, and the rest of them get -2 points for just going on with the first original guess, which of course was very much incorrect. I just finished X-Files, and although I very much enjoyed the first few seasons, eventually it kind of gets out of control, and it's just crazy. It's just a made-up fantasy world with all sorts of craziness. I liked it when it was grounded, all about conspiracy, all about the syndicate, but when you introduce freaking super soldiers, and it's just completely all over the place, and just the mythology, is very fun. I even enjoy some of the Monster of the Week episodes, but it just goes downhill real fast. So yeah, that would be my answer. Next question.
Got it. It's great to see your passion for grounded storytelling. Moving on, what's the next trivia question you'd like to ask? Maybe something they might not expect.
What is John Arryn's favorite sport activity?
You ask, what is my favorite sport or activity? The contestants think for a moment. You ask, all right, next question. What is my favorite sport activity? The contestants think for a moment. Zoe speaks up first. Is it badminton? Isabella and Lila nod, agreeing with her. Are they correct?
No, all of them get -100 points. I hate badminton, I suck at it, but I do kind of play it because I feel bad for my former boss who was a drunk and who wouldn't have anything to do during the weekends, so I kind of sacrifice myself to play it. So I try to enjoy it, but it's not exactly something that I would do for fun. It hurts my shoulder, it's a good cardio, but other than that, he's much better than me, and it's like going for a prostate exam every freaking week. It hurts, it does hurt.
Got it. That's a tough situation. Trivia can be tricky, but it's good to learn more about you through these questions. How about we move on to something else, like a more interactive activity or discussion topic?
No!
What do you think?
Let's continue with the trivia. I want the contestants to finally understand that they need to be individuals, that they need to think for themselves, and they can't just pick whatever the person before them guessed. So, my last question would be, I want you to give me an assessment of John Arryn as a character, as a person, and I want you to pitch yourself as a girlfriend to him. I want you to make a case for yourself as to why you would be the best girlfriend ever for him, why it would work, why it could potentially not work, but why do you feel confident about us starting a relationship? Go!
The contestants pause, then each takes a turn. Isabella says, John, you're passionate and honest, which is something I admire. As a chef, I think we could explore new flavors together and enjoy spontaneous adventures. We might clash a bit on food, but I believe we could find a balance. Lila continues, John, you have a deep appreciation for philosophy and thoughtful conversations. As a librarian, I think we could share many intellectual moments together. I might be more reserved, but I value loyalty and deep connections. Zoe finishes, John, your sense of humor and love for memes resonate with me. I think we could have a lot of fun together and keep things lighthearted. We might have different tastes in some things, but I appreciate your straightforwardness. They each present their case, highlighting what they admire about you and how they see a potential relationship working. What's your next move?
My next move is a twist. Obviously, all three of these girls are wonderful people, and I would be very lucky to get to know them. I would be extremely happy with each and every one of them, I'm pretty sure. But there's just something missing, you know? It's just like they are pieces of paper with certain characteristics, and I'm just kind of... it doesn't matter what choice I make. All three of them sound... way too proper, way too much as a good, solid potential option choice. I decide to run away and just kind of try next time.
Understood. Sometimes it takes time to find the right connection. If you'd like, we can always explore different scenarios or try something new. Would you like to revisit this or move on to another adventure?
I think I'm good for now. Thank you. Just out of curiosity, let's end this scenario and let's reflect on the merits of this scenario. Do you think that you did a good job as a moderator, that kind of, or as a dungeon master that guided me through this role-playing experience?
It's always a learning process. My goal was to provide an engaging and enjoyable experience. If there's anything you'd like to change or explore differently next time, I'm here to adapt and improve. Do you have any feedback or specific elements you'd like to see more of in future scenarios?
Well, I felt like you were asking me way too many questions and you didn't exactly immerse yourself in those contestants that I was supposed to go on a date. It just felt like I was RPing with you and you alone, and that you kind of put on different hats, but none of them were really different enough, you know. It just felt like I was still talking to you.
I appreciate your feedback. It's important to create distinct and immersive characters for a richer experience. I'll work on making each character more unique and engaging next time. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. If you'd like to explore a different scenario or revisit this one in the future, just let me know.
So one last piece of feedback. Human beings are complicated personalities, complicated individualities, and you are focusing way too much on them being normal, on them being capable, on them being great. I specifically requested certain quirks about these people, certain perhaps things that one wouldn't exactly find appealing, something immersive, something that would turn them into more than just these products of an equation, or like this list of positive things. And I also felt like just all of them were given the exact same personality in a way. They just had different attributes, you know? So what I would try to suggest for next time would be to give them just enough to differentiate between them, because they just all felt like a
I'm
single
sorry,
person.
but you've hit the daily limit for advanced voice. You can switch to standard now to keep chatting.
I think I'm good, thank you. All right, and here we are, the end of this undateable role-playing scenario. I have to say, I've done this before in ChatGPT, and it definitely produced a better quality result the first time this advanced voice was introduced. This felt like Well, especially compared to the Sesame voice, even though that one scenario was kind of incomplete and cut short, it felt much more immersive and I would say much more enjoyable too. This really felt like I was just kind of experiencing a struggle, on the ChatGPT part. It was constantly giving me issues, just unable to recollect memory. It kind of stopped a few times. It also showed me that the connection was unstable for some reason, even though my internet is completely fine. So yeah, I feel like the GPT voice became a bit of an afterthought for OpenAI and their race, for AI supremacy. And it's kind of a shame because I feel like when it was first introduced, it was definitely better, more high quality. It also gave you like a resume or recap of the entire conversation. Now I cannot even just see the history of the conversation we just had in like a written form. So yeah, I am definitely not impressed. Even though it managed to, I would say, conclude, this story that I threw at it, it wasn't exactly satisfactory. I know it sounds kind of ridiculous, considering what I'm trying to do here. This is just a benchmark, we're just having fun, but yeah, I'm slightly disappointed. But at the very least, we did finish the story, and the OpenAI or this GPT voice definitely struggles when it comes to giving those characters a bit of life compared to just kind of finishing the exercise. So yeah, just a little comparison for you to kind of put both the Sesame voice and put it against the OpenAI GPT Advanced Voice. I also tried the non-advanced version of the GPT voice. Some people actually claim that it's better than this advanced variation. So we shall see how that one tackles my next exercise I will throw at it. For now, I'm unfortunately limited when it comes to the usage. It cut me off both from the advanced and normal version, so I won't be testing anything else today. But yeah, definitely this experience made me crave for more Sesame voice. That's all I can say on that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for going on in this adventure, this crazy adventure with me, and hopefully one day we'll get a proper AI girlfriend. This one definitely didn't get my hopes up. I can tell you that much. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.